Have you ever found yourself scrolling through social media, looking at someone's brand new car or vacation photos, and wondering, how on earth do they afford that? It's easy to feel like everyone else has cracked some secret financial code while you're the only one stressing about your bank balance. But today, we're going to pull back the curtain on what normal actually looks like in this country. And I have to warn you, the reality isn't that people are rich. The reality is that the average financial situation is much more fragile than you might think. Let's start with the engine of your financial life: income. If you are working full-time right now, the median weekly earnings are just over $1,000. That translates to roughly $52,000 a year before taxes. If you're earning around $26 an hour, you are exactly in the middle of the pack. But we all know $52,000 isn't what hits your bank account. After Uncle Sam takes his cut for federal and state taxes, Social Security, and Medicare, the average person is taking home closer to $35,000 to $40,000. Now, here is where the math gets scary. While the average take-home pay is limited, the average household spending is staggering. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the typical household spends about $67,000 per year. You don't need to be a mathematician to see the problem here. To simply break even, you need to earn significantly more than the median income. Where does all that money go? The big three eat up most of it. Housing costs average $1,885 a month. Transportation, car payments, gas, insurance takes another $913. Food adds another $691. Before you've paid for a single streaming service or bought a new pair of shoes, you are already spending nearly $3,500 a month just to survive. So, if expenses are high and income is average, how do people fill the gap? The answer is debt. The average household is carrying over $9,000 in credit card debt. This isn't good debt like a mortgage that builds equity. This is high-interest debt, often over 20%, spent on things that lose value immediately. What's fascinating is that despite this, the average credit score is actually 715, which is considered good. This tells us that people are very good at managing their debt payments, but they aren't necessarily good at eliminating the debt itself. They are staying afloat, but they are swimming with weights on.
This brings us to the most critical metric of financial health: net worth. This is simply what you own minus what you owe. The median net worth for an American household is about $122,000, but that number is heavily skewed by age. If you are under 35, the median net worth is less than $14,000. If you are between 35 and 44, it jumps to $91,000. By the time you reach the 65 to 74 age bracket, the median hits $266,000. While those numbers might look like progression, they hide a terrifying crisis regarding retirement. The Federal Reserve reports that the median retirement savings balance is just $65,000. Even worse, 25% of Americans have $0 saved. They are planning to rely entirely on Social Security, which currently averages a benefit of only $1,550 a month. Let's look at the people at the finish line, those aged 65 and older. Their median retirement account balance is roughly $88,000. If you follow the standard 4% rule for safe withdrawals, $88,000 allows you to pull out roughly $3,500 a year. That is less than $300 a month. Ask yourself, could you survive on $300 a month plus a modest Social Security check? This becomes even more concerning when you realize the average retirement age is 61, yet full Social Security benefits often don't kick in until 67. That leaves a 6-year gap where you have to fund your own life, and the average person simply doesn't have the cash to do it. Furthermore, if you retire at 61, you might live another 20 or 25 years. Trying to stretch $88,000 over 2 decades is a mathematical impossibility. The root of this problem is the savings rate. The average American saves only 6% of their income. When you consider that the average new car costs over $47,000 and a home down payment is over $60,000, a 6% savings rate means most of that money is being burned up by short-term purchases, leaving almost nothing for long-term wealth building.
So, what is the takeaway here? Is it to panic? No. It is to realize that average is not a goal you should aspire to.
If you are doing what everyone else is doing, you are signing up for a future of financial stress and a retirement that is barely funded. The bar is actually set very low. If you can save more than 6% of your income, avoid carrying that $9,000 credit card balance, and invest consistently, you will be lapping the field. You don't need to make $1 million to win with money, you just need to be slightly more intentional than the average person. These statistics are a wake-up call. You now know exactly where you stand, and more importantly, you know that doing just a little bit better than the norm can lead to a completely different and much freer life.